Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to CAN TV. Thank you for watching. My name is Ava, and I'm your host this afternoon. And with me today, I have Mr. Dunjuma Gaskin. He's one of our instructors at Greater Westtown. Welcome, Dunjuma.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Good. Dunjuma, could you tell our viewers about Greater Westtown and what makes it so different?
Yeah, so at Greater Westtown, we have our wood products training manufacturing program. And that sounds like a big fancy term for really it's just woodworking. What we do is we put you through a 15-week training program where you're there Monday through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and you're getting hands-on experience in furniture making, cabinetry construction, learning how to safely operate power tools and stationary power tools as well, and hand tools. So it's really inclusive in terms of that.
Okay, so it's a hands-on experience for those that are accepted into the program.
Yes.
Which leads me into my next question. Can you give the viewers some information as to how the program works and how they're accepted or how they start their process?
Yeah, so what we do is usually we actually have orientations on Tuesdays at 8:45 a.m. And you come in, you fill out an application, and we give you a tour of the shop. And you get to see a class that's actually in the shop working on projects similar to what you may do. And after that, we give you a couple of assessments. And then we look at your application and look at those assessments, and then we'll invite you in for an interview. And if all goes well at the interview, then you're in the program.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Now, what, if any, is there any type of assistance or how's the program set up? Say once they're accepted into the program, is there like a supportive services, say for those that are just coming in and might be struggling getting back and forth?
Well, the program is actually provided at no cost. If you are currently a low-income resident in the state of Illinois, you don't necessarily have to be from Chicago, but if you're able to get to our training facility, which is actually located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, if you can get there and qualify for that, the training is provided at no cost. And we also actually offer a transportation stipend. While we don't pay you to do the training, we do give you a bus card or a gas card to get to the training every week.
Wow, that's great. So in other words, they have absolutely no excuse for not coming once they're accepted into the program.
Yeah, in terms of transportation and getting there, if you don't wake yourself up and get on that bus or get in that car, that's the only way you're not going to make it because we give you the tools and resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any challenges that they might meet once they're accepted into the program and they're into, say, the class time or the training, so to speak?
So many people kind of worry or they freak out. So it's woodworking. We teach you, you're in a shop, and one of the things you have to do is measure wood. If you're cutting, you know, you can measure twice, but you can only cut once. So we have a few classes that are set up to get you up to date with the things that you need in the shop. So there's shop math, which gets into fractions, basic math, maybe a little bit of geometry we touch on. There's a measurement course. For like the first 3 weeks, we teach you how to read a ruler. There's print reading, where we teach you how to read shop drawings, blueprints. And then there's some other classes too, language learning component. There's a whole lot of new like vocabulary that you have to learn for or in the wood shop, you know, different tools, techniques, processes, things like that. So the language learning is good for that, and also because many of our participants, English is not their first language. And for some, it's been a while since maybe you've been in school and you maybe forget a little bit of grammar or, you know, a verb here or there. So we kind of go over that. And one of the biggest components of our program is job readiness. So what we really do is train you in that 15 weeks we give you enough basic skills so that you can at least get an entry-level job after completion of the program.
Okay, great. Now, I want to go back just a little bit. I was asking, or maybe I didn't ask it clearly enough. What makes Greater Westtown's training so different from some of the other programs that are out there that are offered to individuals at your training facility?
Well, our shop is a big component. You actually work on projects that you get to take home. All the materials are supplied as well as the tools during the training. And with the job readiness program being our main component, we actually work on helping you get placed on a job after completion of the program. So whereas other programs maybe even like charge money and they give you the training, maybe after you leave they kind of say congratulations and send you on your way. We help get you placed, and we have job placement services that are available to anyone who completes the program, and you don't have to be a recent participant. We've had people call that have completed the program years ago, and maybe they're at in a space where they're not working now. They can always call us, and we can help with job placement for that. So
Okay.
I'd say that's one of the things that
That's
makes us
great.
different. Yeah.
What about barriers? If a person has a background, a history, how is that handled? Or
Well, we don't turn away someone necessarily because they have a background, criminal background. In this industry, they tend not to really look at that. And so we've actually not had any issues really getting people placed with backgrounds. It's kind of on a case-by-case basis, but so far so good. There are no issues that I can think of.
okay, can you tell the viewers what's your percentage ratio with the job placement?
Right now we're at 85% placement rate. We kind of stay steady there. Some classes we get 100% placement, others we get 70, but generally it peaks at 85% from class to class.
Okay, so how soon will the next class be forming?
So classes start in January. We're accepting applicants. If you want, you can give us a call. If you're watching the show right now, you can call us at 312-738-1060 to give us a call if you're watching us live. So please feel free to do that if you have any questions.
So with that being said, viewers, what I'm going to do is flash the information on the screen, and feel free to copy it down and or call in, whichever you like.
So
There it is. It's the Greater Westtown Training Partnership. It's the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. The location is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is 312-563-9570. You can also reach us on Facebook.com/Greater Westtown or the World Wide Web, gwtp.org. So, here we are. We're going to go back to the program, and with me I have Betty. She's
Hi.
one of she's our guest speaker, our guest student here. So Betty, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for
Good.
having me.
How are you liking the program?
I like it. Excuse me, I lost my voice coming on. I like the program. It was at first a change, a big change for me. But it is a lot of information. But it's not anywhere where I felt completely. I like the program in the sense of everyone there is really helpful and helps along. Yeah.
Any other any challenges since
Yeah.
you've been in the program?
The challenges in the beginning was measuring. I thought I knew it all, and then it was like, oh, this is so that's why I'm always off, and when I'm matting pictures, off by that 1/16 of an inch. I didn't know 1/16 of an inch. I was like, it's fine, 1/16. But no, it matters.
So that's where it comes in, where Dajima says measure twice and then cut
Right,
once.
exactly.
Okay. How do you feel within the classroom? I'm sure with the mixture of men and women, is there a balance or is it equal?
Actually, in the program I'm in now, it's there's only myself and another woman, and the other. It's a small class. The classes are small. It's eight students, and it's 6 men, 6 to 2, and but I don't really notice the difference, or I never feel any difference from the instructors. The woodshop's instructors don't treat us any differently because women or men, there's no preferential treatment at all.
Okay.
So
What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome while being in the woodworking program?
I think a lot of it is I thought before the program I thought I was really a disciplined person, and now I'm realizing what discipline is. I mean, you have to be there on time, before on time, and it's just really managing your time. It's not let the instructors are conscious that the students have other obligations outside of the school, and so but there is work and there is some things you have to know, that are. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I look forward to every day, every morning. So some of the challenges is a little bit like just becoming more aware of certain insecurities or feeling intimidated. But I mean, get over that. That's just a personal something that I bring.
Okay. What made you choose Greater Westtown? What pulled you into the door, through the doors to make you come? That was your decision to get there.
I had heard of it mostly, and it was always something I wanted to do. I've always wanted to learn woodworking, and I knew a student who had just gone through the program, and she had told me it was the best thing she did for herself, and I was asking her about her experience, and that was sort of also kind of the push as well. And then once I came to orientation and I met Danjuma and looked around and had a tour of the space, and yeah, I thought.
Fell in love with it.
Yes,
huh?
yeah,
That was
exactly.
great.
Yeah, it was a place for me.
So your experience, your exposure, there now, what's your outlook? Like, how do you feel about the ideas that you possibly had in your head? You're now bringing them to life. Is it something that you think you can go beyond, so to speak?
Oh yeah, it's really exciting. It does make piques the imagination, right? I mean, there are ideas I've always had that now knowing how to balance it, how to figure out,
What works?
yeah, and just learning the machines, learning how to even print readings. We study print reading. Even just it's almost as well a confidence builder, because it's like, oh, okay, I have this idea in my head, and now I know. Now I'm this much closer to knowing to making it. I can build this. I know how to do this.
That's great,
great,
Betty.
yeah.
What information would you share with the viewers out there in regards to Greater Westtown?
Well, I think it's a great program. I don't regret starting enrolling. I'm glad I was accepted. And I would, if it's something you've always thought about, I think for myself, from where I was coming from, it was a program I was aware of. I mean, it's a great resource in the city, and and as a visual artist, it's something really important to know your resources. I think as any individual, right, in the city, especially in the city, to know what resources are out there. And Greater Westtown is a really precious resource. You can get an education. It's not only an education, but a community. And there's no feeling that I know that once I leave, that there's always a space I can go back to and ask for either advice or seek help finding a new job or anything. I just know that this program will always be there. If that makes
That's
sense.
good. So it's
Yeah.
something that you can always fall back on
Yeah.
if you need additional information or help.
Right.
Okay. One last question. What would you say to women who might be intimidated by power tools and big pieces of machinery?
I would say, don't be scared. I mean, it's really, it's not. That's what the instructors are there for, right? You're not just thrown in front of this machine. You go through safety, and you get practice, and you keep your hands clear of the blade, and it's not something that you should be intimidated for. I mean, that's what the training is for, is so that you make, you make wise decisions in using.
Great, Betty, it's been
Machinery.
so nice having you here.
Thank
So
you.
what we're
Thanks
gonna
for having
do
me.
now is flash the information once again for the viewers. There it is, viewers. If you want to call in, ask questions, we're here. And as you can see, this is the Greater Westtown Training Partnership, where the facility is located. It's 500 North Sacramento Boulevard for the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number to contact is 312-563-9570. They also have Facebook that they can be reached on, as well as the World Wide Web. You can also email them. So there's a class starting in January. The seats are filling fast, so I think you need to get to the telephones, okay, viewers? And here we are again with Dunjima. Dunjima, Betty was a very good student, good interview, good comments about the program. I mean, it would make anyone just want to be the path to the doorway for Greater Westtown, and not to mention that just the qualifications, low income, no out-of-pocket expense.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me what a typical day for a student would be like from the time they come in to the time it ends, their day ends?
Yeah, sure. So you come in, you get there a little early, you're in the shop. So once the program begins, after about 3 or 4 weeks of what we have as a bridge program that gets you up to speed with what you need to know to be in the shop, you are in the shop from 8 a.m. to noon. That's 4 hours out of that 6.5-hour day, actually working on your projects. And after that, you get half-hour break for lunch. And then you usually finish the day with a 2-hour class in one of those other subjects that I mentioned, like shop math or print reading or computers. Oh yeah, I forgot. We do computers too. So like if you need to learn how to type so you can like work on your resume, we help you with that. And the job readiness course, we teach you, interviewing skills. We have one of the best job readiness course instructors in the city. At our training facility. And that instructor also teaches you how to drive a forklift. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, this is the program for you. Why forklift? Well, we get people placed in shops that have to move material because, wood is heavy, so you're lifting like big sheets of plywood and stuff. So you need to learn how to drive a forklift so you can move around material. And speaking of that, I mean, you did ask about what a typical day is like. We actually have some photos of people in the shop, right? I think we do.
Okay, so let's take a look.
Yeah.
Can you explain them as we go along?
Yeah, so actually that's Betty. Look at Betty. What she's doing is she is learning how to change out a saw blade. So, not only do we teach you how to cut, but we teach you just some basic stuff like, oh, what if this blade is dull, or I need to change a saw blade to do a different type of cut. So you learn how to change that in the table saw there. You could see some of the other students in her class. They're watching her and learning because I think she was the first one to volunteer during this.
Okay.
She was so brave enough to say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this first.
Go, Betty.
And she did it. Go, Betty. Right there, that is Rudy. Rudy is making a cut, learning how to make a proper cut on the table saw. You can see the alignment of his body in terms of his positioning with the blade and where his hand is pushing the stock through the machine. Like, there's some kind of high theoretical stuff we learn here, like where to place your body. Why? Because that table saw has like 4 horsepower, a 4 horsepower motor, and that blade is pushing back at you. So if you don't secure that workpiece right, that little white piece of melamine that he's trying to cut actually can turn into a projectile, and you can hurt yourself. You see he has safety glasses. He's also not wearing any jewelry on his fingers, anything that could possibly get caught up in the machine and make it difficult for him to operate. So
What's
we're
the
big
board
on
in the
shop
back?
safety. So that little board is actually just one of the teaching tools. We write on things where you learn. You know, it's not all, you know, in the classroom, but sometimes you got to learn stuff there too. So
Okay.
like us on Facebook. I'll go back to that. That you can see our Facebook slide. Facebook, Greater West Town. That's that. Next. Wood technology. You learn about wood. You learn about the properties. Those guys there. There's Betty again. She's there. So that's Betty, Daryl, Sean, Samuel, and Robert. Oh, that's Juan, actually. What they're doing is they are analyzing samples of different panel products. So they're learning how to identify the difference between particle board, melamine, HDF, MDF, LDF. There are a host of different products that we use in the shop.
Okay, thank you for that, Dunjima. Now, getting back to us, just have a few more questions. Does one have to have high school diploma or GED in order to take this course?
No, you don't need your high school GED or diploma. You just have to test at a 6th grade reading and math level. So one of the things that we do is we give an assessment to look at that. And the reason why we find that you need that is because that's kind of the minimum math and reading level to grasp the material and to understand like the fractions, measuring, print reading, all that. Generally, we found that someone in that reading range can comprehend the work.
Okay, what are you looking for in the person that you have accepted into the program? How would you describe them? What kind of person would you think their characteristics, their personality?
If you like working with your hands, even if you're a creative person, you don't necessarily have to be, but if you're one that likes process and thought and logic, that someone who's reliable, shows up every day, shows up on time, because also these are qualities that we'll be looking for and looking in you when we want to get you placed. This is one of those industries that's a little bit non-forgiving in terms of time is money. So say we get you placed on the job and you're there for your first week and you're late like 2-3 times, chances are by the end of the week they're going to say, hey, it was nice, thank you for your service, see you later.
Okay, before we wrap up, Dunjima, can you give us some of your success stories about students that you've had come through the program?
Yeah, we've had people that, this program is designed for people with no prior experience whatsoever. So, we've had people that have come in and we've gotten them placed on the job and they're still working to this day 5-10 years later. I've actually met one of the first graduates, Audrey, some 20 years ago she went through the program, and she is still working at the company that she was placed at and is doing really well.
That is such a great story.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting ready to wrap it up, but before we do, we're going to give the viewers one more look at the overhead so that they can get the address and the information. Again, there's a class starting in January, so the seats are selling like hotcakes. We want you in there. You got to call this number. The number to dial is 312-563-9570. Greater Westtown Training Partnership, the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. Location, 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. Again, there's 3 forms of contact. There's Facebook, the World Wide Web, and the email. Orientation is every Tuesday at 8:45 a.m. Thank you for joining us, viewers.
Thank you.